Encyclopedia Brown Solves Them All by Donald J. Sobel. The Case of the Missing Clues. Although there are thousands of private detectives in the United States, the town of Idawil had but one. Idawil did not need more. Its one detective was Encyclopedia Brown, and he had never lost a case. Aside from Encyclopedia, Idawil was like most towns its size. It had three movie theaters, two delicatessens, and four banks. It had rich families and poor families. It had churches and synagogues and a lovely beach which everyone could use. And for more than a year, no grown-up or child had got away with breaking the law. Encyclopedia's father was chief of the Idyllwill police. People across the country believed he was the best police chief in the world. Chief Brown was proud of his record. He was proud of his men, but he was proudest of his only child, Encyclopedia. Alas, Chief Brown had to keep his pride in Encyclopedia a secret. Whom could he tell? Who would believe him? Who would believe that the real mastermind behind Idawil's war on crime was 10 years old? Whenever the police came up against a puzzling case, Chief Brown knew where to go. He went home. Encyclopedia would solve the case during dinner in the Browns' red brick house on Rover Avenue. Encyclopedia never whispered a word about the help he gave his father. He didn't want to seem different from other fifth graders, but he was stuck with his nickname. Only his parents and teachers called him by his real name, Leroy. Everyone else in Idawil called him Encyclopedia. An encyclopedia is a book or set of books filled with all kinds of facts. Encyclopedia had read more books than anyone in Idawil, and he never forgot what he read. He was the only library in America that could get around on a two-wheeler. Between schoolwork and police work, Encyclopedia kept busy during the winter. During the summer he ran his own detective agency. He solved cases for the children of the neighborhood. Every morning during the summer he hung his sign outside the garage. Brown Detective Agency, 13 Rover Avenue. Leroy Brown, President. No case too small. 25 cents per day plus expenses. Early one afternoon a small boy pulled a red wagon into the Brown Detective Agency. The wagon was loaded with fresh fruit. The boy was loaded with anger. He slammed 25 cents onto the gasoline can beside Encyclopedia. "My name is Abner Nelson," he said. "I want to hire you. I sell fruit." "Is business dropping off?" said Encyclopedia. "No, it's disappearing," said Abner. "For the past 2 weeks a big kid comes to my stand every day. He helps himself to whatever he likes, and he doesn't pay." "You need protection," said Encyclopedia. "Protection!" screamed Abner. "How no, I want to be protected from protection." Abner explained. He grew the fruit in his backyard and sold it at a stand on Grant Road. 2 weeks ago a big kid had stopped at the stand. "He told me I needed protection," said Abner. "From whom?" asked Encyclopedia. "From other boys who have fruit stands during the summer," replied Abner. "The big kid said they might wreck my stand." "So he offered to protect you?" "Yes," said Abner. "He comes by every day with a big grin and brags about what a swell job he's doing of protecting me. 'Nobody has bothered you, right?' he says. Then he takes something to eat for his services." "He's protecting you clean out of business," said Encyclopedia. "I never needed him. He fooled me with his fast talk," said Abner. "You've got to stop him before he eats me into the poorhouse." "What's his name?" said Encyclopedia. "Bugs Maney." "I might have guessed," said Encyclopedia. Bugs Maney was the leader of a gang of wild older boys. They called themselves the tigers. They should have called themselves the berries. They were always getting into one jam after another. That box is awful tough, said Abner. Don't be afraid, said Encyclopedia. I've dealt with him before. Let's hear what he has to say for himself. He won't say anything about the bag of cherries he took an hour ago, said Abner glumly. The Tiger's clubhouse was an unused tool shed behind Mr. Sweeney's auto body shop. When Encyclopedia and Abner arrived, Bugs was alone. The Tiger leader was getting ready for school. He wasn't studying a book. He was studying a bicycle lock. He was teaching himself to open it with a hairpin. Seeing Encyclopedia, he hastily shoved the hairpin into his pocket. Make like a tree and leave, he snarled. First pay Abner here for all the fruit you have lifted from his stand, said Encyclopedia. You owe me $3.25, said Abner, and 40 cents for the bag of cherries you took an hour ago. I never needed your protection. What's this? Protection? Bag of cherries? Cried Bugs. Say you two guys better not walk too close to a candy factory. They are looking for nuts like you. Encyclopedia picked up a paper bag from the floor beside Bugs. Inside were 3 cherries. Where did you get these cherries? Demanded the boy detective. Bugs worked hard at appearing calm. Well, why, I bought a pound of them at the supermarket this morning. You mean you helped yourself to a pound from my fruit stand an hour ago, said Abner. Listen, growled Bugs. I've been right here in the clubhouse all afternoon eating cherries and thinking. I don't know anything about protection, a fruit stand, or your bag of cherries. If that's true, said Encyclopedia, you won't mind if I look around. Go right ahead, said Bugs. Search till your eyeballs blister. The search did not take long. The clubhouse was tiny. The only bits of furniture were a carved-up table and 6 orange crates which the tigers used for chairs. Encyclopedia got down on his hands and knees. He ran his fingers over every inch of the floor. He found 7 nails, a clothes hanger, 2 comic books, 3 dried leaves, and a half-inch of dirt and dust. Next he turned to the wood box which the tigers used as a waste basket. He held 2 more comic books, an old newspaper, a rusty belt, and a broken checkerboard. When Encyclopedia was finished with the waste basket, he went outside. Again he got down on all fours. He circled the clubhouse, digging his fingers into the grass and weeds. He touched every bit of ground for 10 feet around the clubhouse. Abner knelt beside him. Are you looking for clues? Encyclopedia nodded but did not reply. What did you find? Abner pressed. Encyclopedia opened his hand. This, he said. On his palm were a piece of string, a paper clip, and several bubblegum wrappers. There's nothing else around but plain old earth, grass, and weeds, said Encyclopedia. Bugs sat down in the clubhouse doorway. He plucked a long stalk of grass and chewed on it triumphantly. Well now, Mr. Brains, he said, did you find what you were looking for? No, answered Encyclopedia, and that proves you weren't in the clubhouse all afternoon. What missing clues proved Bugs lied? Solution to the case of the missing clues. Encyclopedia did not find the clues he was looking for, cherry stems and cherry pits. Had Bugs been in the clubhouse all afternoon eating cherries, which he had bought at the supermarket, as he claimed, the pits and stems would have been there too. Beaten once again by Encyclopedia, Bugs admitted he had taken the cherries from Abner's fresh fruit stand. He had eaten most of them on the way to the clubhouse. Bugs also admitted that Abner's fruit stand had never been in danger. His protection service was just an excuse to get fruit without paying for it. Bugs paid Abner for all the fruit he had eaten during the past 2 weeks. Then he retired from the protection business.